Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought I would kind of share with you guys a little bit of kind of how things have been going in my own reselling business and some changes in implementation that I'm going to try out just because I'm noticing just more stuff is kind of sitting. So let me backtrack. I have been reselling for quite a while. If you're new here, I have been reselling on and off about 6 years. I took some breaks for like a year in between that. And then I've been full-time for, I want to say, almost 4 years. So a good chunk of my reselling journey has been full-time, which I'm really grateful for, and I don't want that to change at all. I started out with a really small closet. I built it up to about, I think at the most I had around 1,600 active listings, and I quickly realized that was just too daunting and too overwhelming. So for the last year, maybe a little bit longer, I have just been kind of like decluttering and getting rid of stuff and just kind of like trying to find that middle ground between just enough inventory and not feeling overwhelmed, basically. So I got down to, and I'm currently at around 870 active listings, which is still a relatively large store in my opinion. And what I thought it basically was having too much inventory, right? When I started this journey of like decluttering, I hyper-focused basically on my inventory, and I felt that that was the huge problem and the big like sore spot in my business, and realized that the biggest problem and the current problem that I face right now is just building a business that feels enjoyable for me, right? I want it to actually be an invitation to you guys. I want to bring you along on this journey. I think it could be really exciting, and I'm going to experiment. I'm basically going to try and figure out how I can make my reselling business feel good again. And basically in this experiment, and I will tell you kind of my goals and my plans, is I used to be listing around, I would say anywhere from 8 to 10, and I am going to decrease that a little bit to around like 6 to 7 listings 5 days a week. So that's roughly around 30 to possibly 35 listings every week, which is still a good amount in my opinion. The next thing that I want to do is, I know I talked negatively about this in the past. I do want to try live selling again. I think I am going to try POSHMARK live shows once a week. And I'm going to strictly focus on items that are not selling quickly for me, or those occasional like cool things that I find at the bins that I think could do well on a live show. I did enjoy live selling. I thought it was really fun. It also was a lot less work than, believe it or not, the traditional route of reselling. Like the traditional going out and sourcing, checking comps, looking things up, bringing it home, getting it prepped, photograph, listing, stored away, and then repeating the cycle once, and if it ships. But the problem with traditional reselling that I've had issues with in the past is that sometimes things take so long to sell, and sometimes it doesn't even have to do with the brand itself or the sell-through rate. Some things just sit, and that's kind of what I've noticed. So I am kind of open more to live selling again, just because I want to see some of those items move. I personally do not want to have as large of a store as I have currently. My ideal goal would be anywhere from 400 to 500 with live shows mixed in there. So I'm not holding on to so much inventory. And as you guys know, I currently did move back home for a little bit of time just to kind of save money and you know, just kind of get in a better like financial situation than what I was before. Just being honest and transparent, like I really want to save more money and just be in like a different spot basically. So I do not house my inventory here, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because when it's out of sight, out of mind, it's like hard to remember that I have that many items, if that makes sense. So eventually I will be, you know, moving out. Like obviously I'll move back out when I, you know, am in a better spot and feel better comfortably. I want to still have my items at home with me, and that transition of 400 to 500 over 800 is a lot better. It's easier and way better to work with. So that's another goal. And then moving forward, so this is the kind of fun part, is like I want to experiment. I want to figure out if I can still make the same kind of money that I'm making now with the smaller closet. I also want to track how live selling is actually performing for me, because when I did it in the past, I don't think that I really tracked it. I think I based it off of, oh, if a lot of things sold, great. If a lot of things didn't sell, then I kind of felt bad and I felt like it was a fail. So I really want to track that and see how that's doing and performing for me, and actually give you guys insight whether I think it's beneficial for my personal business or not. And then I also want to track how I feel, because currently right now I am not motivated to do a lot of reselling stuff, if I'm being honest. And the biggest thing, and I think the reason why that is because I have created all of this kind of pressure on myself. And another thing I want to get back to is I want to be doing YouTube again. For a while I kind of stopped just because I felt like I lost my routine basically, and it was really hard for me to kind of work YouTube back into my routine. But I think that I'm just going to just film when I can and not worry so much if it's like if I have the perfect setup, or if I have a nice room, or if I have a nice reselling room and stuff. Like I don't have that stuff anymore, which is totally fine. But I think I got in my head a little bit and was like, well, you know, like my life has changed, so like, you know, maybe people won't be wanting to watch it as much. And that's my own fault. Like nobody said that obviously to me, but it's just, I'm rambling. But anyways, I want to get back to YouTube and make content for you guys. So I'm sorry. I hope I did not ramble too much. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so that's kind of why I'm like talking a lot. But yeah, I'm going to take you guys thrifting. I think we are, let me see. It is 9:17, so I do have to go and get Mar some food. She has been getting older, so I've been getting her more wet food just because she's more interested in eating wet food. And I just heard as cats get older, it's just trying to make sure they get enough water and stuff. So I'm going to get her some wet food, and then there is a thrift store over in that area I wanted to check out. And yeah, I do not have any game plans for how much I'm looking for. I'm just trying to find good quality stuff. So if that means 1, that's fine. If it means 2, that's great. Yeah, let's go thrifting, and then I'll show you guys the haul. And yeah, like hopefully we can find some good stuff. So I'll see you in a little bit. So hopefully you can see me. I'm going to scoot my seat back, and I'm sorry, we are in my car again, so we're gonna probably do lots of filming in the car. Yeah, so I went thrifting, and like I said earlier, I was kind of not really focusing on any type of number, right? I was just like, I'm gonna go in there, see what I can find, see what's worth picking up without just like focusing on anything in particular. So the second trip that I went to was actually more of a bust than the first one, but I'll show you this one. So the first thing I got was this Pilcrow. This is the newer label. Hopefully you can see it. This is Pilcrow by Anthropologie. And it's this really adorable kind of like Victorian top. It does have like a Victorian style. So it's like a ruffled collar, and then it has like puff sleeve, and it's solid black. They did price it for $5.29, which I did actually pick up something that I paid up a little bit for. Let me see if I can push this back, this camera, because I'm trying not to, sorry. Okay, hopefully you can still see me and it's not shaky, but I should have brought the other tripod. But I did pay up a little bit for a different Anthropologie, but there is a reason that I did, because that style is a sought after style. Now this one I still think should sell around $28, so not too bad. This next piece I thought was so cute. This was $5.99, but this is Sundry for Every. Now, Sundry can be sold at Anthropologie, but it also can be sold at Every, or hopefully I'm saying that right. But like this one, that's the tag, and it's this really adorable kind of midi floral with the puff sleeve dress. It is, I think, a size small, and this is 100% cotton. So I'm gonna close my thing because I don't want to hear the cars drive by. It's kind of annoying me. So I will be honest, I did not check comps on those two items, but I do think that they will still sell decently. And I'll be honest, I was kind of over it by the time I went to the second store, which is kind of what's been going on. Basically, like, I'm just like not wanting to thrift as much and like look around as much. I don't know. Let me know if you guys are the same way. Like, do you hit a point where you're just like, okay, I'm done thrifting, even if like you're a reseller and you need to find, or want to find more stuff, I should say. Like, I keep hitting that point where I'm like, yeah, I just kind of feel like going home. I don't know if it's me being lazy or just me I notice my stores are just like very like sparse, right? And the first store I'll talk to you a little bit about. When I went in, I found a ton of great things, but this Goodwill, and I don't know if I'm going to continue going here, overpriced things to the max. Like, I wish I got a screenshot of this, but it was a beautiful, like, new with tags, Chico's, like, burnout style. It was beaded kimono. It had silk, and it was floral. It was, like, everything that I wanted to find in a kimono. They priced it at $60. I was shocked. And then I sometimes like to spark up conversation with people like at the thrift store, like, and I just happened to bring it to the counter because I was like shocked that it was priced that high, and also I just kind of wanted to ask like why it was priced so high. And they were like, oh, this is new with tags, and this retailed for almost $200. Like, she was basically trying to sell it to me, and I'm like, I just looked at her and I said, yeah, I don't have $60 to spend at a thrift store. Like, yes, I understand I'm reselling some of these pieces, but come on, really? Like, and she's like, yeah, people are reselling these. And I know for a fact that Chico's cardigan, even though it was beautiful, even though it had so many things going for it, was not going to sell for $60. So, like, it probably best guess would have sold for like $45, even new with tags. So I'm like, yeah, I understand, but you're getting these things for free. It's like, I just can't sometimes, like, with the price points at Goodwill, but okay, I digress, sorry. So next thing I found was this quince. This is the tag, size large, and they priced it at $6.49. Now, I did get half off on this trip, or not half off, I got 20% off. And then this one is, let's see, I did check comps on this. This is the lightweight cotton cashmere crew sweater in Sugarstone, size large. Super cute, very great basic. It's not gonna sell for a ton, but I do think around 28 to 32 it should sell. I was shocked about this and I was so happy because this is actually my first time finding this brand. I know it's kind of crazy to think about, but I did find Tucker Nut and they wanted $8.99, but I did get it around like $7. But it's new with tags and it's this beautiful like extra large black. It has sheer like paneling on the sleeves, balloon sleeves, and it's just like a nice career staple. It is flowy. I did not check comps for this one, which I know I'm looking back and I'm like, Taylor, why did you not do that? But that's okay. I still think that it will sell reasonably well. Okay, so the last thing and the most exciting thing is actually this Anthropologie dress. Now, I did pay $14.99. I know that's crazy. After the discount, it was more like $11, which is still very high. But this is called the Somerset Anthropologie like maxi dress, and if you do find this style, I want to be honest, they make so many different, I've sold a floral one, but they make so many different colors and patterns, and this is very sought after style, so I'm hoping this should sell around $100, which I was very, very happy about finding. And I know, again, $11 to $14 is crazy, but that's kind of what I'm noticing. When I go to the thrift store, pieces are priced up, and it's probably going to continue being like that. I still find stuff, don't get me wrong. Like I found that Lululemon sweater, but after checking comps, that sweater was performing really, really bad. So yeah, sorry, I know this video is kind of all over the place and I'm getting back to filming. But yeah, let me know, how has reselling been for you guys? Let me know if you're noticing some of the same things as me. Like, are things sitting around for you? Are you finding enough good inventory? Are you selling it at a good price? I know there's going to be a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to live selling, and I completely understand that. I'm not saying that I'm only going to be a live seller, but I am saying that I do want to move more stuff and see if it could be a way to just get stuff out opposed to holding on to so much inventory. I think that's all for the video. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Starbucks. I got a caramel macchiato, which is kind of different than what I usually get. But yeah, I'm super excited, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye! See you later!